Your mind is more suggestible than you realize. Subtle cues shape thoughts, decisions, and behavior without your awareness. Two powerful psychological tricks are priming and the framing effect. Priming occurs when exposure to one stimulus influences response to another. The smell of fresh bread primes hunger, making you more likely to buy food. Experiments show that people primed with words related to aging walk more slowly afterward. The brain absorbs cues and unconsciously adjusts behavior. Priming also shapes memory. If you read doctor, you're more likely to recall nurse or hospital. Associations ripple through the mind like sparks across a network. Marketers exploit priming. Ads pair products with wealth, beauty, or success, priming you to connect the brand with status. Priming is invisible influence. It bypasses conscious thought, nudging choices in subtle directions. Now consider the framing effect. The way information is presented changes decisions even if the facts are identical. A treatment described as 90% survival feels safer than 10% mortality, though both mean the same. The frame alters perception. Shoppers prefer a discount over avoiding an extra fee. The frame determines whether the choice feels positive or negative. In politics, framing shapes opinion. A policy framed as protecting jobs gains support, while the same policy framed as limiting trade faces resistance. Framing works because humans rely on mental shortcuts. Words and context trigger emotions that override logic. From menus to headlines, from ads to policies, framing steers decisions daily. Awareness is the only defense. Your brain loves shortcuts. One of the most powerful is the halo effect, when one positive trait creates an overall impression, coloring everything else. A student with neat handwriting may be judged as smarter, even if the work isn't stronger. The halo of one trait influences perception of all traits. Attractive people often benefit from the halo effect. Their looks create an impression of competence, kindness, or intelligence even without evidence. Brands exploit this. Sleek packaging creates a halo of quality, making consumers believe the product itself is superior. Celebrities transfer their halo to products. A famous athlete endorsing shoes makes them seem faster, stronger, more desirable. The halo effect works because the mind prefers consistency. One positive impression spreads like light, illuminating everything else. Now consider the contrast effect, when perception of one thing is shaped by comparison to another. A shirt may look ordinary alone, but after seeing it on a model, it feels less impressive. The contrast shifts perception. In hiring, a candidate may seem stronger if interviewed after a weak applicant, or weaker if following a brilliant one. Context changes evaluation. Retailers use contrast deliberately. A $100 jacket feels affordable next to a $500 one. The frame of comparison drives choice. The contrast effect works because the mind judges relatively, not absolutely. We measure against what we just saw, not against objective truth. From classrooms to boardrooms, from stores to social media, contrast shapes perception daily. Awareness is the only defense. Humans fear losing more than they enjoy winning. This bias is called loss aversion, the tendency to avoid losses even when gains are equal. Winning $100 feels good, but losing $100 feels worse. The pain of loss outweighs the joy of gain. Loss aversion keeps people paying for unused subscriptions. Canceling feels like losing access even if they never use it. Investors cling to failing stocks, unwilling to realize losses. They hope for recovery, even when evidence suggests otherwise. Loss aversion is hardwired. Evolution favored those who avoided danger. Today, it shapes financial decisions, relationships, and everyday choices. Closely related is the endowment effect, the tendency to overvalue what we own simply because it's ours. Experiments show people demand more money to sell an item they own than they would pay to buy it. Ownership inflates value. Homeowners often overprice their houses, believing them worth more than market value. The endowment effect blinds them to objective worth. Children show it too. A toy feels priceless once it's theirs, even if identical toys sit nearby. The endowment effect works because ownership creates emotional attachment. Possessions become extensions of identity. Together, loss aversion and the endowment effect explain why humans cling to what they have, fear letting go, and resist change. From priming to framing, from halos to contrasts, from loss aversion to ownership bias, psychology tricks shape decisions daily. But awareness transforms influence into control. Priming loses power once recognized. If you know ads are nudging hunger or status, you can resist the pull. Framing becomes neutral when you see both sides. Awareness lets you evaluate facts without emotional distortion. The halo effect weakens when you separate traits. A celebrity's fame doesn't guarantee product quality. Awareness breaks the illusion. Contrast loses impact when you judge independently. A $100 jacket is worth $100, regardless of what sits beside it. Loss aversion fades when you accept risk as part of life. Awareness reframes loss as learning, not failure. The endowment effect dissolves when you detach identity from possessions. Awareness restores objective value. Awareness is the antidote. By naming these biases, you reclaim freedom. Influence becomes choice, and choice becomes power. Together, these tricks reveal the hidden architecture of decision-making. Awareness doesn't erase them, but it gives you control. Knowledge is defense. The more you understand, the less you are manipulated. Awareness builds resilience. This is AI Mind Hub, expanding your mind with AI.